Lifestealer. I was Sven in a pub, and I was 1-17.
By the way, it's Limp on Magnus. Mid-mag.
Oh, okay.
Doom.
Offline Doom, cool.
Okay,
but
1-17.
Lifestealer beats Sven in a 1v1. I popped all my stuff. He popped all his stuff, and I fought him to the death, and he killed me. And then I saw D2 Bowie posted a Twitter video, and he's like, "Which one wins?" And I was like, "I know this because I just fed 1-17 to this." I had the same items. Lifestealer wins with this late game chart.
And he has Empower.
And Empower,
but
yeah.
He does not, but Sven has an Omni Knight.
That is true.
It is a battle of the buff boys in this game.
Actually pretty good dealing with Winter Wyvern in the Golden Breaks early. Might be part of the reason why the Sankey also got picked. A little extra buff there. See? Samael suffering a fair amount. Purification already used. There's the arrow. Samael just wants to get back home, but Limp is not going to let him switch. Given to Alliance's mid laner. Already starting with the right foot.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice as well. That should be, pretty early on into this bottle. You know, you're going to be taking a lot of damage out from the Squirrel here in the mid lane versus Thompson. Not much you could really do about it other than just buy plenty of regen and just, you know, in the late game, channel all that Wrath and RP the Squirrel later on. And just about one tapper pretty one on here. SNG is going to be able to get away. Hell is just as much.
Yeah, we've seen this, right? Usually when Thompson plays the Squirrel mid, you need something to just be able to hunt them relatively easily, because otherwise, I mean, we saw this in the Quincy Crew game, you need to organize your whole hunting squad. You don't have dogs, you can't really smell her out, it's so difficult to find her between the trees, it's tough. And Thompson always makes you lose time with that. Even if he loses net worth, it's okay, because he recovers nicely, has such good lane clear, and even can go for some dangerous farm by doing that. So it's a great way of opening the map that OG has abused a lot this one.
Yep, we go through trees pretty nicely at the very least for Alliance. We don't have like a bespoke, you know, tree killer or like anyone. Basically, the way you think about it is
call him?
No, no Timber this game, unfortunately for Alliance, right? So that's going to be a little bit of a difficulty, and when it comes to hunting down Thompson, because guaranteed win or lose, you know, whether he needs to create space just to buy time for Sumail to get his item, or if he just wants to farm, he's going to be pushing these like big tournaments.
That's true. The counter I like the most against the Hoodwink in general, is a very easy kill against her is the Ember. Actually really solid at doing that, or any of the Spirits actually. Particularly Ember and Storm really stand out at being able to break it. As you said, I think there's ways this game for sure. You can even Doom her as well. That's another way to just getting rid of that. And something the panel did not mention, but also very true, is the Doom also brings a basic spell. So anything that Guardian Angel actually is going to save, just Doom that target, and that target is against the right.
Very true. F4, eating a stun out from Smell is to be fine. Scorched Earth and yeah, no, that's a good point. It is going to be a great game to get this Purge creep operational, though, yet again. Again, it's just something super annoying. Even if you just hit it onto Smell, just to slow down a little around it.
Gets rid of the Scurry, of course, gets rid of the Warcry. Like, there's so many useful things to be purging off. You can even use it defensively against the Spirits, okay? S4. The Heavenly Grace, unfortunately, all you can do is hit more, but S4, as long as he backs out, he should be fine most of the time. Not too dangerous. I don't think he's gonna die at all this lane. He has some really nice early armor, and even went for the double gauntlets early to do.
Plenty of damage though that they can pump out here, so gotta be a little bit careful. He's still got stick charges there now, popping them. Sumail, he knows, you know, like Aoi said, he knows when he's strong. He knows when he can cure his own farm, and for the most part, with the Omni Knight in the lane with you, he's definitely.
We're seeing Limp kind of leaving the lane of Thompson. I mean, not very surprising as a Magnus. If you can afford to go jungle and there's not too much loss there, you might as well. The creep wave is near the tower anyway. Thompson does offer a lot of harassment. And I mean, Thompson destroyed a Bat Rider mid, so if you're going to be able to beat that matchup with Hoodwink, I think a Magnus certainly is going to suffer. There's not many chances of you being able to shockwave skewer her into the tower.
Go for the shockwave, but yeah, I think it's a good response by Limp, just to not really worry about it too much. You know, you're not laning versus someone like Flash. You're not laning like a DK. Okay, you can afford to just farm waves in between maybe the creep wave gets pushed, but you come back and you right back in. You're all good to go.
That's a good arrow. But they turn that into a kill. No till. And the face armor the Pebble was talking about. Tanking those. Verona hits pretty nicely with the meat. Haskins committed it. The Heavenly Grace to heal him a bit, but it's only a little bit of regen. It's not going to do enough, even with the extra strength. The poor Omnight will fall there.
Not where you could really go. Alliance, by the way, started off this game with 2 Blightstones on each of their supports. I assume one of these is eventually going to get turned to a medallion. It's a Solar Crest here for Nico Baby, but they really do value just being able to harass these low armor support. Phoenix especially here going to suffer a bit to the Wyvern.
Okay, the start from the Centaur. The neutral creeps are allying. Today they really hate offlaters, huh? They're just attacking whatever they see that's a 3. Zeb suffering much like Lelis. Yeah, he's not going to die. Lifestealer doesn't have enough damage just yet. Did go for the pointed rage just to be able to survive that lane. As S4 and Hanskin, I mean, are you really trying to accomplish anything this lane but getting the basic farm on Doom? I don't think you can get close to them at all, really. I think there's much more opportunities of you doing something bottom, really, with Lifestealer and the Winter Wyvern at this point.
Yeah, I think Hanskin's probably going to look to maybe throw an arrow top and then rotate mid lane. But we can see Thompson and Limp alike are very keen to just, you know, let the melee creeps do their thing in the lane, farm a small camp in between, make sure that power damage too early on. Limp's already super tanky here, yeah, 1200, 1300 HP with the power. Go.
Yeah, the Magnus is not going to get killed. In fact, I don't think Alliance needs to get too many, any kills really out of these lanes. As long as you stabilize, due to the power of the Empower, sorry about that, you're going to be able to easily recover regardless. And OG, I mean, the difficulty is OG has a good ganking squad to deal with you in the mid game. With the Hoodwink Sanking, I think most things will ride it out, especially if the Omni has a couple points of purification flat to them.
That's a good point. Lots of DOT, some good slows as well that you could be using to make sure you can secure these kills. Hopefully they're able to give a little bit of farming time to Soxa this. Because kind of picking up on what Ali was saying, there's a lot of items you kind of really want to as a Phoenix. Because not only do you really contour the Wyvern, but you also really contour this Magnus quite easily. There's only a couple of egg hitters you're super turned with. You know, this is one of those games.
And Mirage.
Lifestealer especially, yeah. But we've got ways to protect you as well here. But like I said this earlier today, we don't really see this much in shorter games, or at least first or second item. Holy Locket. But seeing something like a refresher on this game, I think, could still have decent value if it's just such an expense.
Yeah, you like seeing the rush on the refresher, and I don't disagree with that idea. I mean, the whole Locket seems just such good value this game because you combine that with the Omni Knight and you just get an insane amount of healing. Of course, Heavenly Grace actually boosts up that healing, as we mentioned, because the extra strength. So I can see you going for just easier items than the insane double refresher. But hey, we've been seeing a lot of Nyx rushing Ag, so it's not out of the question. Seb in the bottom lane, there's a Soul Ring and a Power Strike, so you should be fine. Unless, okay, Seb saying that Power Strike to the last second there, and only level 1, not going to get too far off, but just enough as Soxa trying to play against his counterpart, his icy counterpart, and kicking him out there.
Yeah, if we look over like at something that Nico Baby is going to end up building, might decide to go into like Armlet, Sange, whatever the heck he kind of feels like. But basically, the Armlet Sange, the most important part there, because already, I mean, he gets popped into a Cold Embrace. Whether or not FNG has the Holy Locket, it's still going to be amping up his heal in that Cold Embrace by just so much. Like, I could really see some damage issues for OG if we do get these items online for FNG and Nico Baby respectively. It's really the only damage they have here to set up for is going to be the magic damage coming from an Epi, a Phoenix Supernova Sunray, and Hoodwink.
I mean, at some point the Sven will come online. That's when the damage issues start happening. The early levels, buff check might just not be enough. Limp, oh, as he skewers the scroll into an arrow. And Skin jumping around like a frog. And Thompson will fall. Nicely played there. Really want to get rid of Thompson as Nico Baby wanted to get that kill on Seb. He didn't commit the dust for that, but maybe it was just to harass him a bit. Very tired of this constant backstroke.
Mal already into the jungle here as the top lane has broken down a bit. He doesn't really want to lane versus this team anymore, especially with the ice armor, as we can chase No Tail around the tower a little bit. No Tail not too little.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Bad. That was just a replay. Sorry. Not only do I sound like some fan, I also get baited just
under attack
too.
Radiant's courier has been
No-Tell can slowly de-push these waves here, make sure that they're not able to too early, as well as getting this back to
Radiant's bottom
That's true. I mean, that kill was very valuable, so I see why you got the replay going. Being able to stop Hoodwink from being too impactful early is something the other teams have managed, and the issue was that the lanes weren't as easy. This time the lane seems a bit easier for We're gonna go for the Omni in the top lane. Oh, Omni hates the Doom with his arch nemesis. He's the founder of the Holy Light, you know, he's a soldier of righteousness, and then Doom comes by, takes away all your spells, puts a pentagram under you, he's just scared, he's constantly running away because of it. Unfortunate.
Seb will actually TP up here to defend the tower, so we'll leave FNG down bottom all alone. He's gonna be able to pull the waves here. 3 points in the blast, so he's got plenty of failed on this Wyvern.
Taking some mail for a ride. They don't have the purge though, unfortunately, so they're thinking twice about double damage rune. If their spell is glowing, any kind of color, red, blue, you can still get close to it.
under attack.
Oh, it's blue and red together. Still with the Master Madness available, and tower's very long, especially with the wagon now.
Yeah, and I mean, they took advantage of this time to at least take the stack, so I mean the Sven won't be able to take them, so that's a way to utilize this time if you think you can defend this tower, but it is still a loss of map control. However, this means the stacks can't be stolen, and it was well spread between Nico Baby and Limp getting the better part of it, it seems.
Baby, he's gonna be able to recover pretty quickly here and look to close the gap to Sumail just a little bit with the 40% cleave that he's getting. It's max cleave and shockwave, so he doesn't just have to follow Nico Baby around the entire time and off because he's.
Just got away from Thompson. That bushwhack always sets up for the potential sharpshooter, so Hanskin, not gonna wait this out. He has the Yule Scepter queued up, so that the idea here is to completely cancel that sharpshooter initiation. In addition to setting up for the arrow, very high value item this game. And of course, your favorite thing that Mirana does, arrow the cannibal. Oh no! They blocked it. They found a way to deal with this disgusting interaction.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, it still kills through the cliff, so that's a little. I mean, I guess you could also eat creeps through cliffs, so that's fine, right? But keeping alive the lag is just about to guarantee this bottom tier 1 tower. Limp is going to look to apply some pressure mid. We'll actually proc 2 TPs onto the leg.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Wait, Thompson's joining
Radiant's
as well.
Bottom tower has fallen.
OG's just here to defend the tower. Doesn't feel like they want to engage at all. Seb will try to do the same in the top lane. After all, Sochi's already taken the mid tower. They're looking pretty good when it comes to map control. They should be able to secure a good amount of farm for the Sven. It seems like now it's full recovery for Nico Baby. Let's see if the Empower work
Radiant's
out for
bottom
him.
tower is under attack.
What do you... Okay, so Armlet Sanj, okay. Do you fight immediately on the Armlet Sanj this game? Is that the idea for Nico Baby?
This is my shot.
Oh. Sure. It looks like maybe they were thinking about going for it, but mostly I say that because S4 did have that Blink Dagger queued up. Instead, he just fully bought out the Hooded Defiance, so he's not looking to be this tanky initiator, at least not until Limp has got his own dagger. It seems like they're going to rely a little bit more on the Magnus for the initiation in this game before we can get the dagger on. Smoked up, though he may. Oh, I apologize, actually. He does have the Blink Dagger, which is.
Now he has it, and are they going to try to look for a kill? It seems like with the smoke. They do also have Winter's Curse. Sumail seems quite juicy. Sumail's running back home, though. Yeah, he wants nothing to do with his kill. Thompson, no, there's the Hoodwink. Coming with a bushwhack. A push on top of that. Nico Baby. Just raging himself to safety. Sumail, he stayed there a bit too long. They do it, but there's the EPs to respond to this initiation. Well, they succeed. They stole the RPs that are resistant on Sumail, but he's still going down. The purification! And they actually save and fix their pushback with the purification. Guardian Angel to boot. Sumail will live. The last magic block was saved from the splinter blast damage. In fact, FNG is the one who's going to die for this. OG just bamboozled the Lions. The Lions thought they could really get that kill, but it was all an illusion.
Yeah, mass TPs, definitely well worth it here. At the very least for Alliance, there's no immediate objective available for them to take, but that's going to be a huge loss for them. Nico Baby, at least farming that piece in his own triangle, is not going to be too affected by this, but not exactly what you were looking for here off the Blink Dagger reveal before your doom, as well as actually stop Limp from farming well. Four back no bottom though. It's not, he's got Icarus time. Wait, has already maxed himself these Fire Spirits.
Damage.
Thompson with TD rune activated, chasing after Handskin. Oh, he actually is going to be able to find him with the Ironwood tree, and Seb blinking on in to secure the kill. Is going to be able to get the job done.
Anchor shot apparently is for noobs. Real pros use Ironwood tree to set up for their
Dire's
kills.
top tower is under
I mean, it is instant.
Yeah, it is. Acorn shot does have a little bit of a travel time, of course. You can also see the animation. But it does give vision, though.
True.
Dire
Sure,
are
but if you know
scanning.
where they are, I guess it's not too big of a concern. That was quite the kill out from Thompson. I don't remember the Dota 2 anime. Usually, wasn't it Marcy that kills the squirrel? Instead?
No, it's true, actually.
They got that one wrong here, but not bothered by that one. With extra gold in his pocket.
Can you imagine Thompson just watched the anime, that one moment made him cry, killed the squirrel, finally gets to avenge it. He's been training a hoodwink mid for ages. OG just didn't want to let him play it. This is all a whole arc of the anime. I think Thompson would like that. I think that would be something that would suit his character.
I think something that's actually like quite a big strength here for OG is the fact that they do have a mid laner and a support who will gladly play Hoodwink. We've seen how strong it can be on regions, and just being able to first pick it and still willing to take that one mid makes it really weird to draft against.
Start with the Bushwhack. He's not getting out of this one. They even got strength. They don't mince their words here. They're gonna go full on with the ultimate, amidst their spells rather. And they also gonna go for that Roshan.
Yeah, just to highlight this, level 4 Heavenly Grace, the bonus 50 damage here as a male when he's got the God Strength active. And that's huge in the early game as well. I mean, it's 60 minutes in, and Relic, huge.
Yeah. Just now play against them. His partner. Our Heavenly Grace for Samael, but the Power Strike will keep Hanskin. Actually, kill the S4. Hit Samael with the Doom, but everything's falling around them. All of Alliance has to retreat to OG. They don't seem to care. Yeah, they've lost the Omnight, but everything else has died. Alliance launches spot ready for this. Nickel Baby still wanting to go in, gets surprised by Burst, but gets the Bushwhack. Samael just got rid of his Doom, which means the Stormhammer was ready and available to finish off the lifesteal.
Yeah, that's now a back-to-back death there for Nico Baby. I mean, they were doing their best to try and contest the Roshan, but if you cannot control Saksa in these team fights, it's just the ultimate counter to your team fight here. There's a Supernova in the pit. They knew a pit was there. There was a Supernova somewhere. They didn't have vision on it. And no one could chase any further to try and secure the kill on Sumail. They very easily are able to finish it off Roshan. Sumail is just farming like a madman here. He's got so much money.
I love seeing Thompson laugh. I can tell that was the sharpshooter kill that made him laugh at that. Protected by the egg. I mean, that's another way to protect the egg. Oh no! Oh no! They left another shot behind. What's happening? Someone pick up another shot. Oh, so was just leaving it for later. Oh, it's Alliance?
No, apologies.
No, it's theirs. No, it's theirs. Yeah, okay. I just thought I'd come up with one of the creeps. Okay. And you give it, of course, to the Sven because amplify the Sven's magic damage.
Is under attack.
That's going to be really nice versus Wyvern versus Doom. That's the name of the game for them for now. He's going immediately into the Daedalus, though. Doesn't feel the need for a BKB when he's got the Omnight.
Radiant structures are
fair,
fortified.
honestly. This a good way to close in this matchup. Jenkins was the 114 matchup, we'll call it, between Lightspitter and Sven. In fact, they want to go for the kill.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
It's Thompson who can get chased. He still has the Ironwood tree, but unfortunately...
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Seb Thompson is going to be a little bit too early there.
Dire's
around
bottom tower is under attack.
But, no matter, Sumail still able to find that tier 1 tower with the utmost.
Shadows take
I see what trick Thompson is using now, and I didn't notice it until now, but he uses the ironwood tree so he can use the bushwhack, because the bushwhack is a long projectile, or takes a while to get there, and use the ironwood tree. I've tried a million times, so you can't use it with Acorn Shot that way, so you have to use Acorn Shot first.
Got him in trouble. He's got the guard active, but he is going to get focused and killed. That was going to be an RP out for them. Limp. Tanking is definitely worth it, and I'd agree. You're not really looking for that achievement. At least while this Aegis is up. Lucas first, and job that will allow FNG to be away. It's not going to get a kill on.
That trick is good. Throw the bushwhack that immediately retreat. I like that. I mean, it didn't get to the Winter Wyvern this time, but it's very smart.
You used to be able to do that until they buffed her. Well, they buffed the speed of Acorn Shot, and now it's a little bit too fast for you to do that reliably. So yeah, Seb, probably a little bit, or sorry, Thompson make that. It's just doing the same trick here with the Ironwood Trick instead. Going into this Aghanim Scepter. Damage amplification. Somebody get through this Poland ratio.
That trick no longer works. Another bushwhack, but this time he knows. Just destroy the trees. Best way to get rid of the bushwhack.
Radiant's courier.
And we're gonna see the build that Thompson loves going, which is gonna be the Aghanim Scepter immediately. A way to buff damage, buff the magical damage rather, and also reduce the stat of resistance with that Hunter's Boomerang. Nico baby. You're not gonna catch him with the bushwhack.
No, likely not. That seems like a tall order. Even with this combo, it'd have to be Seb initiating onto him yet again. So Nico definitely realizing there's enemy heroes missing off the map. Instead, it's going to do himself an power buff. Sorceries. Full Heaven's Halberd now next to the AC.
Sumail is just going to farm these ancients, right? He's going to dominate over the triangle. Alliance just want to avoid fights at all costs, it seems like. Waiting for the Leicester to kind of get online. I mean, I guess he's somewhat online, but we haven't solved it, but not enough to deal with his Sven, seems like.
There's a Doom onto Soxa, yet again, just using these big ultis when they're not looking for a fight necessarily. He will take down, although Hanskin looking for to make sure he can get the kill. Sumail is going to pick up the kill onto Soxa, over actually denying, sorry, he picks up the kill onto Hanskin, rather, over denying Soxa. Hold here.
Okay, I mean, I don't think denies that. Okay, you give Doom a bit more gold. He's gonna get gold anyway with Devour. I think
yeah, no, it's not worth it. You want the kill. You want the kill, especially if you're a Sven. I mean, you're so far ahead. You do everything you can. That's in essence what they're doing with the Aegis here. OG not really making any efforts to swoop up and look for the fights themselves. Just looking to get damage item onto the mail. Probably queue up the BKB next.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gonna go to get more damage here.
And the way the Sven is built in, by the way, used to be the logic of why Sven was good against Lifestealer. This you deal so much burst damage and physical, of course, that Lifestealer can't heal in time with a feast. And that was the logic years ago before he got the attack speed buffs, etc., etc. But after Jenkins' pub, of course, this was not the case anymore. And pros realized after that 114 pub that Sven actually loses to the Lifestealer. I still think the logic is pretty good. Oh, 117. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Master Jenkins. So, yeah, the Sven now going for, I think, is the right build against the Lifestealer, which is getting as much damage as possible. As you said, not concerning yourself with BKB, because really everything pierces BKB anywhere in Alliance, so you might as well ignore it.
That's a good point, actually. It's not too great of a BKB. If it is for S4, that is now completed. Might need to use it here. Also, Mal might just be able to burst through. There's going to be the bushwhack, and they've secured the kill. They just reclaimed in the same swift movement, however. We have that one to play with here for the approach.
So now, Alliance, I'm wondering what Powers might really think is going to be the right one. Maybe it's going to be the AC on Lifestealer. That is going to mitigate a lot of the damage on Sven, but for now, it's just Nick Off's own Nico baby. He might get picked off himself, but Liv. So pushback combo yet again. Now the sharpshooter ready. I don't think Liv is making out of this one alive. He won't. Off with his head. And FNG, the next target, does have a Winter's Curse.
It's not even my birthday.
Yeah, get away from the pushback. Actually got him. I don't know how, but Thompson's not going to let anyone escape. Alliance loses 2 for free, and yet again in these initiations they're testing the waters, trying to find simple kills, but any small mistake here means an overcommitment.
Yeah, and that's kind of exactly what the panel was talking about here. You know, you TP, it's not that TP's in, just waste no time dropping the egg immediately, and Alliance, again, in no position to destroy that Supernova, are just left in a really awkward spot. They actually used the Supernova stun to continue chain counting up limp. He had no chance there. Surprised that he went for like a kidnapping play like that without had the BKB full. Pretty darn close to it here.
A kidnapping? Is that what you call the skewer?
Sorry?
Is that the skewer play? A kidnapping?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's the same thing for the tiny. You just or the squirrel napping, right? Whoever he happens to get.
Okay. No, I was just asking because it's called. I've seen it called
Radiant's
fishing
bottom
kidnapping.
tower
That's the
is
first
under
time I hear
attack.
it from
Fishing,
YouTube.
sure. We'll go fishing. We'll go with
Okay,
fishing.
that was very dark. Okay.
Dire are scanning.
Maldo with so much damage. Echo Saver now, and the Daedalus is that mask hat.
Radiant
Wants to get through the
structures
tower.
are fortified.
They will lose the tier 1 in exchange for this.
Dire's middle tower
Oh,
is
is
under
that
attack.
trade? Built up behind.
Dire's middle tower
Closing in now
has
on that.
fallen.
Won't yet have it.
Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower
Once you get that
is under
BKB,
attack.
perhaps they'll feel more confident to
Dire's
go
top
in
tower
and force
is
a
under
5-on-5. Sven is still looking scary, but you know the
Radiant's
Heaven's Halberd
bottom
now
tower
to sort of
has
deal with them. I haven't really seen a single like
Dire's
teamplay Winter's
structures
Curse,
are
mostly just
fortified.
escape Winter's Curses. Or big teamplay Winter's Curse, rather.
Yeah. Well, we might see one now.
Radiant's
Limp's got the
bottom
BKB
tower
on the
is
way.
under attack.
Tower helping with that. That we're looking for here. We might be able to finish full AC for Gobaby if we have the plate mount for that extra Halberd.
That's very important. We also get the boomerang now for tops.
Radiant's middle
That's
tower is under
most
attack.
important, I think, in this game is the lowering the status resistance. That's going to allow them to honestly
Dire's
perma-stun the
top
Lightstealer yet
tower is
again.
under
They've been
attack.
doing a good job of it until now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Initiation by S4 though. And it's the kidnapping we're talking about. Going to sinking. Gonna succeed. Seb is dead. He wants to go further, hoping to kill off the Sven. The Supernova is keeping the Lions at bay. All we're gonna do on the left of the Lions is use the high ground. Winter's Curse not gonna stop that sharpshooter. The score to the green. Under the RT up to 3. And they're gonna punish them all at once. That area damage is too much for OG to deal with. The Lions finally taking the teamfight of their dreams, and with the Inferno Blade, they can't stop this DP. Gonna get the last kill they were looking for. They want to turn this into a team wipe. They will accomplish it swiftly with one last skewer. Triple kill for Limp. What a skewer RP there in the middle of the fight.
Oh yeah. Again, BKB was their go time here. Which is why I was shocked that they went for that play earlier at the mid-tier 1 tower. A bit ambitious, but now we see why, you know, they were really eager to look for a fight after this one. Roshan is up. I'm sure they know about it. Instead, they'll look to perhaps get a cheeky little tier 3 tower here.
Dire's
that
top
was
tower
unblocked.
is under attack.
I like the organization on speed, right? You gotta bunch them up, you put up your toys, and then you stun all of them up together. He's made his own
Dire's top
strategy there.
barracks are under attack.
Not yet, they're over it here. But stunning maybe though way too fast. Immediately on the rage. Limp doesn't have BKB, doesn't need it though. Nico Baby walk up the high ground. Scepter play though. Set him up for much here. Be able to escape.
That was an I can do it too, Seb. Watch me. Just heals him right
Dire's
after.
middle tower
Don't let
is
him
under
set up
attack.
whatsoever. Nico really wanted those racks because he went for the melee. Unless they take another fight soon, they're gonna end up reaching him. That's why I think he was committing a bit further for them.
And now without Epicenter, or, you know, really any of the ultimates here for a while, at least Melt's got God's Strength back soon, Supernova and 10, Sharpshooter doesn't really have a cooldown. But no GA and no Epicenter. I'm surprised that Alliance is considering going for
Not unskewered.
they've scouted it.
Lim.
That's
Might be
they
scouted
do it
instead.
extremely fast.
OG's got it, that's for sure.
Are scanning.
Yeah. We have God's Strength yet again, so...
Dire's top
We're
barracks
actually
are
back to
under
Madness.
attack.
Oh, Nico Baby's like, yeah, you're right. I forgot something in that top lane. Takes the racks immediately. He's gonna go back. And assuming anything, we should guess something's happening. Definitely the Roche. Oh, S4 just walks in. You might just die here for free, S4. Barely getting out next to the curse, and the curse will kill Thompson. Fire here from Sameo. Thompson has no buyback, but they can still take the Roche as they're going for FNG right now. The Stormhammer. They're having a little magical damage in the way now. They're doomed for Sameo. Not able to War Guy himself. There's a Supernova, but quite defensive this time. This time he just walks into it. Rage is not going to stop the stun. But they're allowed to get away with murder. The murder, the Sanking specifically.
And now Alliance can just finish Roshan. I mean, it's not 4k HP. You don't have the squirrel for another 20 seconds. There's gonna be no initiation here. It's all gonna be on Seb here to initiate. No supernova either. Yeah, they're gonna be able to just say thank you very much. You know, we were a little bit busy taking your top lane of barracks. How nice of us for you to prep Roshan for us as well.
So kind, OG, as Alliance just sneaking right away. There's the shard given to Limp. I actually like that very much. If he's getting good skewers and good RPs, give him the horn toss too.
Under attack.
That horn toss is really, really nice. You can catch multiple people with that as well, and it makes your combo a little bit easier to execute. You can go fishing even faster here now on our Magnet. The horn. It's to be a little bit of an uphill battle for OG. I was really expecting them to be able to go through that Roche a little bit faster, but the Moonlight Shadow, like I always said, it's kind of, you know, really showing its strength here. Not even kind of, it is. FNG just walks straight up to Thompson. Gets a little bit scared for a second before he realizes Thompson has absolutely no idea he's here, and they kind of just send in S4 to clump him up.
The classic way to deal with core is just be invisible. They don't know what dust is. It's not in their inventory ever. And that Winter's Curse is so valuable. I mean, it's also because the big difference in terms of HP between Hoodwink and the Sven, right? You're not going to Winter's Curse the Sven, but Hoodwink is a prime target in a glass cannon. It's the ideal situation for a Winter Wyvern. Some good curses, though, in general by FNG, so credit where credit is due. OG are setting up for a fight here.
Yeah, it's a good one as well, especially if they can find Limp. They've got Vision. There's going to be the jump onto Limp now. Disarm for a while. It's going to be Sumail. No supernova quite yet for Soxa. He's holding on to it. Limp healed up. Look at the heal, and even with the Sunray, Nico Baby right on top of the supernova. They're going to be able to scramble it, and then he will be able to get that one done. Just on the cusp of losing the Aegis as the stun from Seb will do just about that. Casket leaping in. Oh, the crits from Sumail, though, will put him down immediately. Nico Baby's now back ready to just run away, actually, with that rage already active. Double buyback out from Alliance, though, is going to spook OG, and they'll back up to their high ground.
Yep. And with this, seems like the guys from Alliance want to continue putting up the pressure. I mean, they want to utilize these buybacks for something. Perhaps fade out an OG, who now used all the resources except for Epicenter and Garden Angel. Here, but well, here the Epicenter, they go for the life killer. Apparently it's going to be huge. Samel gets help on the Garden Angel, but it's held immediately by the Doom. Who needs Purge when you got Doom? Samel's down for the count, and they want to go for the scroll. Well, but Thompson is capable of scurrying back to safety. S4 might be in trouble now. Under Boomerang, these stuns last too long. S4 is not going to be able to get away. 70 seconds without him.
We have a curse coming from FNG. Nice arrow. Yeah, they're gonna go for it. There's gonna be the skewer onto Sumail. Look how far he's been fished away. That's a dieback on Sumail. It's in for 110 seconds. Oh, there's the horn toss. And almost the ancient golem. They're getting the kill, but at the end of the day, it's now Nico Baby with 2 extra kills off the tail end of that fight. OG were just hoping to chase a bit further, but this ward paying dividends. Our observers highlight Alliance should take back up into the high ground like we initially intended.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Limp here, and that's going to be a dieback from Limp. So actually really good kill by OG here. As they're going to be pushing high ground at the same time as we watch this replay. You know, high ground's dangerous, guys. That arrow was on point, to be honest. That high ground was on the point. Let's see. They want to go for the Sankey, the spells the open wounds immediately. Nico Baby realizes he's not going to heal as much, but the bees through the pit to keep him alive. He still has an defense. They catch him with a power strike. As it goes Soxa, Winter's Curse. There's nothing hitting him though. And neither can Alliance's team do so right now. And they invest the Winter Wyvern, hoping to let FNG live. But FNG's already dead. They have to go hit the end. Nico Baby going swift and scrambling again. As Nico proceeds to murder No Tail. No chance for No Tail. Thompson trying to get him with a scurry. Nico Baby is going to chase him to the ends of the earth. Nico Baby wants this skill, but he gets bushwhacked instead. And he's dizzy a bit, turning around a bit too much. Nico Baby won't die here, but he also is not going to get the kill he was looking for. The reinforcements are coming though. S4 running towards the base. For the enemy base, mind you. As said,
spells to use. There's been Son up to 7 initially though. You'll set the top Burrow Strike if you can just get away with it. If you Burrow Strike aggressively, it's not going to do anything because that's what BKB'd and Nico Baby was raged. I'm back in instantly though on Seb as now they look to finally get Nico Baby out of the base. He's still holding on to a cheat though, but now consuming that one as he is bushwhacked to the tree and broken. Or blinking away. Now just the rage TP. Guess what? Nothing to go through it. He's free to go.
They are going to hit the Winter Rival though with this. FNG needs to find a way to escape. Instead, he's just going to gain some time for his team. As the Duke also finding the hook link here. S4 trying to run away from Thompson, who's almost out of spells, but Thompson doesn't seem to care. Even with low mana, he can chase after this Doom. All he needs is a bushwhack to set up for this. In fact, Samayo's running towards him, but S4 is a bit too far gone. Might even be able to set up for a kill here if Alliance wants to re-engage.
So just a quick update on buybacks, by the way. Only 3 heroes didn't buy back in that last fight, being S4, Nico Baby, and Thompson. So the only heroes currently with buyback, but S4 is just one Devour open. That is a key rune. So pretty chaotic. A couple of diebacks to say the least. But OG, they still hang on to this game. They only actually lose the tier 3 bottom lane, and they eventually get through the Aegis and Cheese, and are just hoping to now get to a better position to fight for perhaps this next Roshan.
Yep. They got a nullifier now fresh for that Nico Baby. Good way to cancel. I mean, you already needed the purge. Nullifier will proceed to cancel all of the Guardian Angel shenanigans. No more scurrying. You might have just gotten tired of the scurrying, to be honest. Because that last fight, that's what saved Hoodwink completely.
I mean, it's also going to be really nice versus the Omni too, right? It's kind of the item that he's going to, now that you don't...
You can still Guardian Angel it out. Sorry, you can still Heavenly Grace it out. So,
Yep.
there's ways, and it not being purgeable like the Repel. That was very dumb, by the way, for the longest time. Like, it gives you magic immunity, but you can purge it? What? What kind of magic immunity is this? I was always very surprised by that.
I mean, Oracle's got that now, right? On the Edict.
No, it gives you magic. It gives you 100% magic resistance. Different. Right? Magic immunity was the
you're
be all end all of. It's the BKBs, you know. It's the creme de la creme of spells.
Especially back then when really strong. It's got a little bit of a change with some of those patches some time ago that everyone complained about, and now we all got used to it.
It's true. As we always do, right? New changes, we always complain. You can tell AUI, for example, is one of those players, the old guard, because he was stuck with the Fusel Blade purging it. Like, okay.
Yeah.
That was no
Upgrade
big
the
boomer
Fusel
moment
Blade.
from the battle.
Get more charges for it. Purchase
Exactly.
doing Weatherman segments now.
Yeah, exactly. He's gone from a sword to a talent, imagine. Nico Baby. Is he going to look for an infest kill here, or is he going to save it still like he's done for these past few fights?
I think he's just going to get level 25. I think they're going to wait till it's 25 talent to fight, and then they're going to look for it. I mean, Roche is going to be up to both of these teams. They know it's going to be about this next
tower is under attack.
division, and just put himself in it best quite easily.
That is actually beautiful, that guy. Yes, he's going to go. I'm assuming the range down. The win rate of the other talents sometimes is a bit of a lie, because when it has such a low pick rate, it's often picked a meme, or because you're winning by a bunch, right?
Yeah, what do you mean? Albet didn't end all his games in the major with 6 Desolators?
Exactly, right? Or how Divine Raper is one of the highest win rates, because of course if you're winning with it, you probably did something right.
An AC finish, Seb jumping forward, behind Hans, getting Thompson immediately could always forward the bushwhack, but my goodness, nothing even his own damage. No bad available. Seb is a bit too tanky now, especially with the Lotus Orb, so Nico Baby's not going to want to go on him. And open wounds, of course, doesn't want that reflected. He has taken that rage talent here. The game, Seb actually not too far from his own here.
Pretty decent actually. I'm assuming it's going to be the slow blind. I mean, the Epicenter Pulses is kind of decent if it was like a very level 20 down. I don't think it's stack grade level 25. Not against Lifesteal, not when PKPs are up.
Yeah, exactly. Not with this Rage talent, and especially not with the Lincoln Sphere, because now you can't even stun him. So he's going to be able to pop Rage and just kind of laugh in your face. But with 3k HP without the Armlet active, there's 3600 now with the Armlet active. Don't know if it's really that strong of a... Who knows? Maybe he's done the back of the napkin math and it's the right call.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Sandstorm. Particularly because also the Sandstorm blind here, it forces some awkward PKB usages. Because what if Lifesteal has to Rage just to deal with the Sandstorm's blind? Right, that's very annoying. Or to be able to escape the slow, it adds a whole dimension to Sandstorm's toolkit. I think that's one of the best talents, honestly.
That is true, although I will say, you know, Limp is just going to go, okay, I'll just horn toss you and screw you outside of your Sandstorm, or I'll force the fight somewhere else by just robbing Mail. fishing him away from the fight. You know, that is going to be a bit difficult, right? It's a lot like playing against the Wukong's command in that way.
He's in his burrow, you kidnap him away, as you would say.
Yep.
I think that's the appropriate term. Found a Roshan here. Oh, Nico maybe even surprised, but it's like, guys, there's a Roshan. Ags is ready on the Roshan as well. Do you have any... Actually, it's a good Doom Ags game, to be honest. They removed the lead completely from this man, pretty big deal. Oh, Hornfrost actually plays against it here. No dildo, and they spell him. Motosorb helping him out, destroying the nullifier. In comes Seb, hoping for a kill, and might just punch on Lim from behind. That's 4 against this initiation. He has to use the BKB, trying to take the rest of OG. Doesn't lose Lim in the process. Supernova has completed, but actually goes safe and sound. There's the Winter Scourge to set the fight. There's only 7 out there right now. No tail. No tail's going to die here thanks to that nullifier. Lim starts the RP, but doesn't want to use it just on set. Waiting for Sumail, really. That's what we want to kill. Sumail coming back in, but he's been disarmed immediately. The head of Salford. Nico maybe too quick. He hits him with the nullifier, but nobody can chase after him. Instead, they're trying to deal with Seb, who's just so annoying. Nobody can actually finish him off. Hanskin might get the arrow, no! But the arrow gives vision for the Yule Scepter, and that's going to be, or should be enough to deal with this pesky Sand King. He has the, oh, they're going to use the RP. They're done. They're done with Seb. No more shenanigans. This man has to die. Alliance is trying their best, and they'll finally accomplish it, but what an annoying Sand King that was. So difficult to kill.
Wave near out from Thompson, just looking to force Nico Baby back. He wants to cut these waves. Seb, at the very least, forcing the enemies to take as long as possible to murder him is not going to do that much to stop this Roshan, unfortunately. Omni's back in 5 seconds. The initiations are just going to be way too difficult here without Seb simply a Burrow strike in for you. Gee, they might have no choice, though. There they go. They're going to at least try and burst through Marana at the very least, but there goes to Melee. At least picks up the TD room, so Lim doesn't want to fight him anymore. But there's going to be the short distance break onto S4. S4 getting absolutely chunked. They have to use the Winter's Curse just to make sure that he lives. Nico Baby, with the rage now on cooldown, might be a little bit of a target here. They actually applies the nullifier, and now that it's on to Sumail, he looks to turn and fight. Thompson, though, does not have to go for another 10 seconds. They've at least stunned up the lifesteal and broken him now. Sumail being pushed this way, that way yet again, but he's able to lifesteal a little bit off of Limp before he flickers back away into the river. Nico Baby after Thompson, now Saksa, who does have the supernova, will now let it rip, forcing Nico Baby back, and Sumail has jumped onto Limp and absolutely torn him apart in the river. Nico Baby hops inside of FNG. Gonna hop right back out though, as they may look for more.
No sorceries available.
But he's still strong, looking for an old tail. He really needs to get rid of this Omnight if he wants the men fight the Sven fair and square. It's impossible. Oh no, Nico Baby's been kind of around in the end. You know, they did do the same thing with the Sven, but Sven's Blink Dagger allows him to be able to get in and out of fight. Almost playing like a Tiny in this fight, to be honest. At least they did get the Roach.
So huge for Sumail right now, but unfortunately they just can't quite contest it. They bought themselves so much time. That was a dieback penalty on Seb. He was dead for 2 full minutes, and he's gonna unfortunately just miss out on Roche by about 15 seconds. It's been an absolutely
Radiant's
beastly
middle tower
fight there
is under
for
attack.
Sand King. Loves fighting around Roshan, but miss out on it this.
So Vesper is keeping the Axe and not using it. Is it because he wants to give it to the Marana? I can only imagine. I mean, it's a good Axe for Marana too, so fair. That or S4, I don't know, wants to surprise them.
Radiant's
We'll
middle
Limp.
tower
There's a
is under
shockwave.
attack.
Sandstone, that's the Sandstone slow. Really annoying Limp. In fact, Sumail comes in. Golden Blade, not going to save him. The Doom has been used though on Sumail. Can they chase after him? That's the question. Doom has no tools to do so. Has to be Limp. He's already lost his first life. Also used the buyback earlier, so he can't play too hastily. It's again this annoying set that's stopping them behind their tracks. Alliance just wants to hit the enemy carry, but are unable to do so because No Tail is making this impossible. No Tail using that Guardian Angel will save himself from the life speeder. The nullifier from the hits. No Tail should die in the backline at 4x4. It's going to die himself first. In fact, No Tail will survive this onslaught. Looking for Wyvern, FNG, that curse is not going to save from the Sunray. They can kill Sumail. Put him out of the fight as Nico Baby, looking for anything he can find at this point. Seb with an epicenter will surprise the Magnus. And no buyback for him. Limp has to eat the cheese, skewers himself, but brings the Sand King with him. And the Supernova on top. The TP immediately will save Limp's life.
And both carries kind of just got taken for walks there. Now, Nico Baby, he's going to be in a bit of trouble now. He's going to be able to rage and TP away. No Tail just completely walked him around. Where did Sumail die? Where did he die to? FNG killed him?
He died to the Magnus. He got RP. He RP'd Sven and then proceeded to obviously attack him and kill him. It was not that difficult once he got the RP, but they had to divide the team fight by a lot. It was not easy for them. And Alliance, I mean, honestly, what's keeping Alliance on their toes right now, it's really the Sanking. There we go.
There it is. Yeah, that's
once
right.
you get the RP out. Yeah, exactly. So Nico Baby comes in, it was relatively easy kill once they had the RP. But again, this was a huge effort to get Omni out, get the Sanking out, you know, and that was what finally allowed them to do this. These two heroes are making life impossible for Nico Baby, who just wants to hit. He's a wee life stealer. All he wants to do is hit his enemy Sven. He wants to be like Jenkins' enemy carry, win that pub, but he can't.
What you also can't do is look to ignore Sharpshooter. It's going to be upgraded to deal pure damage and go through that spell immunity. You know, that Thompson's hit 5. For that God's Strength, which is further buffed, by the way, by Heavenly Grace. It's got that active, of course, because it adds to your base stats. The big reason why this combo is as strong as it is.
Just a brute force method against the life stealer. I like it. I think the hook lick, though, even bigger than the damage a Sharpshooter will deal, the break is big deal against Nick. Getting rid of Feast and Go, I mean, Go Friends is whatever, but getting rid of Feast is major. He's gonna have to heal back up with open wounds, use the Infest cleverly. There's more tools now for OG, and Alliance need to figure out their own tools to deal with the Sanking.
All ones will rest
for. They've got strength. They also want to go for initiation from Seth. They're gonna try to go for a deal, but there's the golden break immediately. He's still holding on to the Winter's Curse. Will now drop them just to make sure Esper is able to escape. They've got Sumail, but he's got God's Strength active. Not seemingly willing to fight though. And Slip on the way on in. Already using the RP here. Supernova's now out trying to keep RTZ alive. Heavenly Grace, GA on top as Nico Baby getting melted by the ray of sun. He's gonna get stunned on the way back out before he's embraced by FNG. Seb with another stun on it. The channel at the epicenter. He's gonna get it off, and that's 2 dead immediately. Out from the FP alone. Nico Baby finds himself in an awkward spot. They get to the Lincoln Sphere, they bushwhack him, and they will be able to get the kill. All in exchange for Sumail. It's gonna be a 4-for-1 trade in favor of OG.
Richie's so American, he's EGs everywhere.
OG, oh my goodness. I heard Sumail and
Hey, you did the call out for Ortiz is what I was joking about. But OG, they only lose Sumail there. Not that big a deal, honestly. Alliance, though, they will have to find a way to deal with this team fight again. Like that Nullifier, you can tell the Guardian Angel was always available. You don't have a secondary first deal with it, and the Heavenly Grace can easily deal with a Nullifier. So that's not the perfect solution for them either. Alliance. What do you...
Oh, Saksa. Pressure, he's done it.
Yeah, he does it the refresher, but that was just a supernova bait. Oh, the break hurting Mirana. I know. Alliance needs to find a way to both kill Seb and kill No-Kill at the beginning of the fight. And it seems almost impossible. Seb even went for the extra shard down. More slow throughout the team fight, a bit of extra damage.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Base here already, though. OG at least trying to equalize here. There are issues in the base though. There's 2 wagons and a big old wave of super creep. Currently looking to get that last tier 4 tower down. That OG will have to be back and defend base from the creeps alone.
Yeah. OG. They do go back, but I think this team fight's looking stronger and stronger for them, like I said, because of the way they're proposing them. So I don't think they're in a rush right now to finish this. It's not like they just recovered a small lead, it's that they're actually coming back into the game, despite the fact that Lifestealer has such incredible net worth. These team fights, I just think it's really good for them. And I mean, the best solution to Lifestealer is kiting him. Nico Baby might consider at some point going for some sort of mobility, like a Blink Dagger. For now, he's thinking of the Scotty as a way to slow down the Omnight. Actually, not a bad idea. Together with a Ghoul Frenzy. Hopefully that's enough. And then at least if you can kill Omni, then fine. Sankin can roam around and do his shenanigans, but kill the Omnight so you can deal with the Sven.
Already the Bloodstone flying out to him here, so he's gonna have a little bit of lifesteal in these fights and a bit of burst healing at his disposal now. Shard on top of this, of course, now only triggers if there's any OG. They're gonna stop. Here though, ready to break smoke.
on trigger. Wanna kill the Sand King. They gotta destroy Southside. The Arc needs to punch him up, and they know that's the target. That move was one taken by the Sand. With the Nullifier, they can bring the Guardians on no-till, and then now get rid of no-till. Supernova has been available though, but they're already gonna kill Sand. So who cares if the end explodes? Your Gary's dead, OG. What are you gonna do now? Alliance might even pick Toxin for a ride. They just want to block on top of that. There's the Shockwood to get it back. They want Toxin on top of that. Nullifier, get rid of Surrey. Thompson needs to use the push right. Wants to get a kill before he dies. Just needs to get away from Nickel Baby. But Nickel Baby's not letting up. Thompson tried to scurry in the trees. Nickel Baby's afraid of no trees. They just not like a cliff. He's going to kill Thompson. Try to smash, but there's ever so much you can do against the Lifestealer. Alliance are now going to do it. They're actually going to reach the high gun a second time after a couple of missed team fights. They finally found a solution. Doom the Sand King.
They know there's no buyback on Sumail right now. It's going to be still be on gold on for another minute, even if he had to gold, which he doesn't, by the way. Triple tower already nuked through by the creep wave. Nico Baby focusing on the throne as Astronaut Mega trying to get rid of Thompson one last time, but doing a fair bit of damage. He's going to have to pop the BKB. Nico Baby and Limp though. Objective gamers here going straight for the throne, and the GG is dropped. Alliance, they do it. They win 2-0 here versus OG. They're going to the lower bracket finals where they're facing T1 tomorrow.
F&G always with a delayed happiness, but such a pure expression. Meanwhile, as for